As the winds carried the Greek fleet toward the shores of Asia Minor, destiny was already in motion. The 1,000 ships led by King Agamemnon stretched across the horizon, a sight so awe-inspiring that poets would later say, "The face that launched 1,000 ships was Helen's." But the journey to Troy was not simple, nor was the alliance without tension. Before they even reached Troy, the Greeks faced a divine test. The goddess Artemis, angered by Agamemnon's arrogance, calmed the winds and trapped the fleet at Aulis. A seer declared that only one act could appease her. Agamemnon must sacrifice his daughter, Iphigenia. Torn between duty and love, the king made a choice that would haunt him forever. As the sacrifice was made, the winds returned, and the Greek ships finally sailed on. The gods had claimed their first price. When they landed on the Trojan shores, the Greeks clashed with Troy's defenders in early skirmishes. But Troy was no ordinary city. Its walls were said to be built by the gods themselves, towering and impenetrable. Inside those walls ruled King Priam, wise and aged, and his brave son Hector, the mightiest of Trojan warriors. Alongside Hector fought noble allies, Aeneas, the pious prince destined for future greatness, Sarpedon, son of Zeus, and Paris, whose choice had set this tragedy in motion. The Trojans were not mere victims. They were a proud people defending their homeland and their honor. The Greeks, meanwhile, set up camp along the coast. Their army was vast and filled with legends. Achilles, son of the sea nymph Thetis, was their deadliest weapon, swift, strong, and nearly invincible, save for one fateful weakness. Odysseus, cunning and clever, was the strategist, always finding ways where others saw none. And Ajax, towering and fierce, was a wall of strength on the battlefield. For 9 long years the Greeks besieged Troy. Battles raged, heroes fell, and the gods watched, sometimes intervening, sometimes mocking. The war was not constant fighting. It was a slow, grinding struggle of raids, skirmishes, and duels of champions. The Greeks plundered nearby towns and islands, cutting off Troy's allies, while the Trojans made daring sorties from behind their walls. One of the most famous early battles came when Achilles faced Sickness, a son of Poseidon, whose skin could not be pierced by weapons. Achilles, driven by fury and pride, strangled him with his bare hands, a glimpse of the merciless warrior he was becoming. But even the greatest heroes grew weary. Quarrels broke out among the Greeks. Greed and jealousy spread through the camp like disease. And in the 10th year of the war, the tension that had been building would finally explode, not between Greeks and Trojans, but between the 2 greatest Greeks themselves, Achilles and Agamemnon. This clash would change everything. It would bring divine wrath, the death of heroes, and the beginning of Troy's downfall. The gods had not yet finished their game. The pieces were moving, and soon fate itself would step onto the battlefield.